4-man mosh pit followed by Entomb. Oh no!
Oh, a huge light bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man light bomb. They're gonna follow up, and they're gonna get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's gonna be everybody dying. Oh my god, when does this happen? Everybody's dead.
G'day, and welcome to more Nexus Gaming Series cast. I'm your host for this day, evening. I don't know how American time zones work half the time. The Line Bus. I'm the Line Bus. And I'm going to be doing a few sets today to answer a question by lovely Velcro and Chat. I'm going to be doing at least 3 or 4, maybe a live one at the end. But for set number 1, we do have Cats on my keyboard facing off against Counterpick Stupid from Division C West. Again, this is the division I play in. Well, I guess I have a team in with Team Greg. Haven't quite been able to play a game so far because now the only times I could play coming up, I'm now out injured. Thank you, shoulder popping out of place. Don't do that one. But this should be a fun series. Both these teams, I believe, are at least a bit further up on the boards. I don't even know where everyone's sitting in my own division. Good stuff, Lime. You're doing well today. I have no clue what the standings are in this. Yeah, second versus fourth by the looks of it. Yep, CCS is second. Cats on my keyboard is fourth. So, should be a good series. So, going into it, Cats on my keyboard did ban out Dragonshire and Braxis Holdout, while Counterpick Stupid banned out Garden of Terror and Towers of Doom, leading us up to Tomb of the Spider Queen, which I'm a fan of Tomb of the Spider Queen. You don't see it that often. It does appear, but it's definitely not the most often picked one. The most often picked one, I swear, is Infernal Shrines, and honestly, now I've seen it, it's going to be map 2. I don't even know. I haven't even seen it, but I know it's going to be map 2. But anyway, as I say before every cast, I have no clue where we're going. I have no clue who first picks and who map picks, just because I like to stay in the dark as possible, and that just makes it definitely a more fun experience for me. So without further ado, let's get into the game. Cats picked map. Okay, I'm just going to... Where is my controller? There we go. That's the only time you ever get that. Right, let's get into it. And you'll have to excuse me. I do still have a sore shoulder, so it's going to be a little bit sloppy on camera work and such, but I will try and do the best I can with one arm. Anyway, on the left-hand side of Cats on my keyboard, we have Koala on the Diva. Chelsea is on Lunara. Apple on Anduin. Ghost, I believe, is on... Oh, God, I can't see that. Nazebo and PJ Red is on Anubrak. And on the right-hand side of Counterpick Stupid, we have Valkymer on the Joanna. Witsend on... Who is that? Tyrande. Zephy is on Sonya. Then we have King Andrew on Chromie. And Metafi on the Savannah side of the way. So we have a little bit of brawling between Valkymer and Zephy, kind of making the 5-man of Cats on my keyboard think everyone's mid, but nope. They should be figuring it out in a few moments when an owl just zooms by them. Nope, they have not gone to stop this little bit of a tower push down here. Also, welcome Zephy, hope you're doing well today. And now, after that tower's down, we see Koala, Chelsea, and Apple all finally matching the side of Counterpick Stupid. Actually, we should probably not just let them do that for too long. King Andrew gets double stunned. Is actually getting relatively low. Tyrande trying their best to get that healing out into King Andrew. King Andrew holds on, but actually that'll be Lunara going down. Not quite who I thought was going to go down in that situation, but hey, it works out for the Counterpick Stupid at the end of the day. Right. Meanwhile, we will have Ghost double soaking. It is kind of one of Naz's best maps. It's the main time you do see them. You don't really see them all that often outside of us. Zephy is getting a little bit of a good stun on them, down to half health, but not really too concerned. They are going to live in the end. And we're going to start getting those cleaner rotations coming out now by the looks of things. As the cheese on that bottom tower is gone, you don't need to really do too much more. Well, let's have a look at talent, shall we? Because we all know it's just going to be rotate top, rotate mid, rotate top, rotate mid, rotate top. A little bit of scuffle in each of these places. But in terms of stacking, there's actually only one quest stacking, and that is Naz Spiders as well as his baseline for Voodoo Ritual. Yes. Joanna forced to pop Iron Skin there. Doesn't really want to be on the receiving end of a ton of damage. It's going to make it easier on Tyrande specifically, especially because they're doing camp currently, so not able to help too much. But both these teams are very much teams that are going to want to fight. Both teams can macro very well. Both teams have a pretty good team fight. I'd say macro maybe slightly over to the side of Cats on my keyboard, while the team fight would be in advantage of Can't Counterpick Stupid, just because Nazeebo's a little bit of a liability in that regard, where they A, need to get Q Quest off first, and B, without their level 20, without any of their level 20s, they are really not the strongest hero in the game. So once that comes in, they'll be fine. It's just that's got to come in first. And the thing about that I have to note currently is CCS has at least been a little bit more disciplined on their camp timing so far. We can see this Bruiser camp hasn't even been touched on the left. Meanwhile, Sonya's already on bottom, and the Bruiser camp was already taken by Can't Counterpick Stupid, but it has now been killed. Cats on my keyboard is at least closer to Handon. That's probably one of the big things to note at the moment. They do have a little bit of a rotation advantage, so it's actually far closer than I made it out to be there. But it is neither here nor there. Right, everything I'm looking at is kind of making sense so far. There's nothing kind of major standing out. Wait. Everlasting Light's an interesting one. Typically with Tyrande, you see the when auto attacks, the activatable auto attack one. Velcome trying to hand in PJ Red. Not quite being a fan of that one. Just going to walk up, slap him once, walk away. I was not going to do that. Oh, God, camera work. This is what I get for having only one hand to use. We do see Velcome. Oh, not Velcome. Yeah, Velcome does chase out PJ Red. But Daffy actually manages to get the turn, and Witsend healing themselves up. Velcome still has 19 of them. Actually has the main load of the turn in for the side of Can't Counterpick Stupid. And meanwhile, we do find that Cats on my keyboard are now there as well, so they do have the hand in. So we're going to have a little bit of a race to see who can hand in first. But both teams are very close so far. Both have hand in around the same time. Both get 7s around the same time. A little bit in favor of Can't Counterpick Stupid just because of that one kill that they managed to pick up. But all in all, it's still like step for step. And actually we see turn in for Can't Counterpick Stupid happen bottom. So they'll get the first Web Weaver phase of the game. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly mute myself just to double check I have things correct. So just bear with me for a few moments. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. I was just having a little bit of a few things happening in front of me that I needed to have immediate attention. But we can see that mid Web Weaver is already down. Top Web Weaver is now also pushing into the top side. And actually we have a largest chunk of a push actually coming bottom. Not typically where we see a major Web Weaver push, just because it's typically not considered the important lane. Just because top lane's boss, middle lane gives vision, and the spot lane just has siege. That's about it. I guess mid lane does also bruise camps, now say it out loud. But we can see there is already one building down, and we can see Chromie picked up the slowing sands as their heroic, which, just as a reminder, Chromie as a character just gets all their talents 2 levels early. I believe it used to be 1, but it changed over to 2 at some given point, which I'm not quite sure when exactly that was. And yep, turn-in still available for the side of Cats on my keyboard. Can't Counterpick Stupid is still about a good 20 off. Okay, if I did the exact maths, 19, but either way, you get the idea. Ghost is turning in 25, does get hit by an owl. And the thing with Chromie, she can still out objectives for a while. There's vision, does she Q it? No, that will be hand in for the side of Cats on my keyboard. So, 1 for 1, we see Sonya gets out siege just before Koala can get to bottom. But CCS have been very disciplined on their camp timings. They're kind of be the main thing I have to note so far. Meanwhile, we're getting a more standard split from Cats on my keyboard. We do see them top. Going after that, we see Apple being chased down, Bless's shield used, and we see Vez wailing arrow on Anduin as well. Anduin will be the first to go down. That's only the second kill of the game. And then, will there be anything else happening here? PJ Reed thinks about going in, decides to cancel Burrow early, which is good because they may have ended up directly in the middle of a slowing sand, which not ideal if you're any character, even an Uber, even a tank doesn't really want to be there, especially once you've used your mobility buttons. But let's have a look at Heroics, shall we? We can see on the side of Cats on my keyboard, Micro Missiles picked up Diva, Light Bomb Anduin, Ravenous Spirit by Nazebo. We see a little stun coming out of Valkymer. Also, speaking about stuns, we do have Web Wrap on Anubarak. And then Hippity Hoppity, I can't remember what it's called, Leaping Sprite. Leaping Strike on the Lunar. We can see Light Bomb coming out. Thing about Light Bomb with Diva, I don't know if it actually works in Diva mech, but we can see that is a Sonya going down very early on. Valkymer holding on for dear life. Witsy and going, please just survive a little bit longer. And there's Valkymer able to get out. Other heroics to note, we did see Leap from Sonya. We have racing Unraveling Sands from the Chromie. We also have Blessed Shield, Wailing Arrow, and Starfall from the Tyrande. But only losing one apiece there once heroics came on. Pretty good. Pretty good. You didn't lose more in all honesty. Because it looked like it was very much, I thought Valkymer may have gone down there at the tail end of that fight. But hey, they held on, and that is good. That is good. Good work, me. Me do sentence good. Know how to speak English. Yes. But we now have the second Web Weaver phase in a row for the side of Cats on my keyboard. And this will actually... Typically when you get back-to-back Web Weavers, they get a lot of pressure. But as there was such a firm defense by Can't Counterpick Stupid in the first one, and we can already see that this middle Web Weaver's nearly down already, I don't know what Cats on my keyboard is going to be like main arse of him. As I said, the team in theory that should be able to out macro, but the team fight is definitely going to be harder for them. And it has shown to be that. So it's pretty even so far actually. But there has been like a lot of safe healing from Apple and Wits End respectively. They're both very on top of making sure that their players aren't dying, which props to them. It's not the easiest to heal sometimes, especially when you have four quote friends end quote yelling at you to heal them. And now we're hitting a point where Valkymer alone has turned in. That is a very Joanna-shaped pinata. But no, it looks like the loot pinata will be handing in. That's 55 gems off of them. And the fourth Web Weaver phase of the game goes over to the side of Can't Counterpick Stupid. It looks like we're going to get a strong top push this time. So I'm going to open up Talons back up briefly. Oh, something I didn't note, Valkymer, well, Joanna actually went Subdue at level 4, which you see most Joannas go this, even if you don't complete the quest. The 80% slow if you hit just 2 targets is usually well and truly enough to get a decent kill onto someone. We see Chelsea in the back line. Zephy actually ran up to them nearly. Probably was thinking about leaping there, but didn't quite do it in time. We see this Web Weaver's already down, but meanwhile, Can't Counterpick Stupid has been pumping the damage into Cats on my keyboard's fort. Fortunately, Chromie, well, fortunately for Cats on my keyboard, Chromie does reduce siege damage. It is just something that is baseline as a part of her Qs. It does reduce damage to structures, which, thank God, because can you just imagine a Chromie sitting like halfway across your lane not wanting to care about it? We'll see Black Arrows used again, Madaffy doing their best to get that down. Does use Wailing, whatever it's called, something wave, Haunting Wave to get out. But yep, we can see Witsend is being dove now, and that is a little bit too much damage for a Tyrande to heal through. Joanna did their best to stop Nazebo, but didn't quite get there in time thanks to the web wrap, thanks to the cocoon from Anubarak. So that is a well-coordinated kill by Cats on my keyboard, even if it was a bit weird. It was a bit weird one, gonna be honest, but hey, it worked out in the end. We can now see that they're going to do a little bit of fort diving. Valkymer trying to ward them off, keeping their top fort alive, keeping his teammates alive. We see King Andrew trying their best just to poke out the enemy side as well, with the side of Cats on my keyboard as well. And actually, Cats on my keyboard have yet another turn-in. A lot of it is on Diva, but they do have vision of this area, so it's going to be hard for Cats on My Keyboard to turn in currently. Chelsea probably... Nope. I was like, Chelsea probably will, but nah. Cancel. Nope. Delete. Do not do that. Koala is going to be turning in bomb now, however, Zephy does find them right as they start turning in. Not quite convenient for Koala, but meanwhile we see the Zebo took top. Thank you to it. Yeah, as I said, we get some very good macro pressure from the side of Cats on My Keyboard as Zebra just kind of ran up to a fort, through a wall, through some spiders, through some frogs. Lo and behold, it's dead! That's how you take forts as Nazebo. It's actually pretty easy stuff. Zephy is slapping ghosts. Actually, Zephy is in danger now, does use leap to get out. Doesn't quite make it over the wall, so it's going to take a lot of damage in the process. But meanwhile, we see that Cats on My Keyboard actually took the turn in while there was a distraction bottom. Which, you got the turn in, you stalled out theirs, and your offlaner lived. That's a win. That's a massive win for the side of Counterpick Stupid. But let's see how they convert this into an actual win for this map. Or whether that Cats on My Keyboard will be able to hold them off. What's Owl still starting shrunk? Are we Owl build? Oh, we are Owl build. Oh, nice. Yeah, so Owl build does actually a lot of damage in the long term. Oh, Ghost is using that Ravenous Spirit. Doesn't quite find the market probably intended. Meanwhile, Top is... Oh god. Top we've either got just got killed really quick. That's surprising. So, well, surprising they didn't get the building, but not surprised that was very quick. Madafi in danger, does have to do a little bit of tricky stuff. We do see Light Bomb coming onto PG Red. Doesn't quite hit the Light Bomb, everyone's a little bit too far away. And Cocoon did come out onto Wit's End, however, that is only via Nubarak going down this time. They try to all in that, but unfortunately without the Light Bomb hitting anyone, the proc of the shield doesn't go off, and that means, well, that's a Nubarak without that extra defensive measure that was needed. Meanwhile, we do have the side of Cats on My Keyboard doing their Bruiser camp. Sonya's already looking at the bottom camp, and they haven't scouted. The side of CCS know where Diva is. They know they're doing a camp, but they're just choosing to siege for the moment, which I like it. Just take the building. Take the building while tank's down. Take the building while Diva's distracted. You're fine. Leave. Get out. Skedaddle, skedoodle. Run from that poodle. There's no dogs on this team, so it doesn't make sense. Wait. Nubarak is just a weird-looking dog. You can quote... Anyone could quote me on that sentence. Nubarak is a weird-looking dog, but... it's not my favorite dog in this game. Misha is my favorite dog. Anyway. Chromie now has her Storm talent that Piercing Sands has picked up. So we're going to get a lot of splash damage, a lot of that extra damage that Chromie's level 18 provides, just because Piercing Sands can do so much. Koala nopes it out of here. I have never seen a Diva fly away as quick. It may have been Sonya needed to use Leap there to stop Koala from turning in, or at least from escaping, I should probably say. And you may have been able to quick combo kill her like that. But, hindsight... Oh, why am I tired? Sorry. Hindsight is a hell of a thing. And it's always a bit hard to say when and where everything is appropriate. Koala getting chunked in the process actually. What level? So Chromie's like, okay. It's for Sans at 16. 14, I guess. Alright, PJ Reed was looking to see if they have an avenue to turn in. And we actually have Cats on My Keyboard sitting at 114 gems. Which, one of the higher amounts I've seen, maybe not the highest, but definitely up there, as can't Counterpick Stupid and being very good at controlling the zones around these turn-ins. Because even you can see Sonya is still watching bot. Koala and Chelsea are wanting to chase him out. And Koala's going to do well enough to let Chelsea hand in, but whether they can get Koala to hand in themselves is going to be an interesting one. We see now the team is collapsing onto Koala. That is mech pop. We do see bomb coming out. That is a lot of gems. Ghost vacuuming up 92 on the Nazebo. We have another pinata on the board. And this time it is a man who throws frogs. And spiders. Of course Nazero's got on this map. This is the spider map. This all makes sense now. Never mind, I'm dumb. But 20s are coming up. Nazero well and truly stacked. They are at 279, so if Vile Infection becomes online, it's going to be a lot harder for Counterpick Stupid to do what they want to do. However, in saying that, if Counterpick Stupid ends nowish, because they do have Handon, it could just be a little bit too late for Cats on my keyboard to give that full value of Nazero. But we can see Boss has been leashed. I don't know how to feel about this one. Especially because this could just be an invade, but you do have 20s, you do have your Storm Talents if you can't get back Stupid, and we do see that Tirana went Ice Blade Arrows. Yep, I was correct with that one somehow. Bottom Storm Sylvanas, Blinded by the Light and Joanna, Ariat Crater from Sonya, interesting. And we do have those Piercing Sands from Chromie, as we said earlier. But Ariat Crater is always a... I find Ariat Crater is a double-edged sword. I find that, yes, it can be very good with locking down the enemy team and making it so they can't go anywhere. But you can also just die in your own crater. Just... I think of to anyone who's a little bit of an anime fan, just the Yamcha image of him lying in the crater after getting exploded on by a Cyberman. Whatever the summons of Nappa were called. Anyway, we can see Vile Infection was completed. We do see it is picked up. We do also see a Blade of Armor from Diva in a fire from... Actually, we see a very dead Ando in his first swing. We see Ariat Crater did stop the Ubrak from walking back, so that's a nice double kill. Koala going down as well. Ghost trying the best combat damage, but Valkymet is chasing both Chelsea and Koala, taking a lot of damage, stuck between a rock and a hard place. They're barely holding on, just over... Oh, 10. Oh, nearly died. Nazebo and Lunara nearly killed them, but they are going to hold on. Witsien takes a little bit too much damage, however. Valkymet is... Oh, Ruffy is backing. Valkymet and King Andrew also need to back out. So this game that I thought was going to be an end, turns out, no, not quite. Oh my god, Nazebo. Yep, Nazebo has hit the cap on gems. If you don't know, you can only cap 100 gems. It doesn't like if you try to pick up any more than that. So Ghost is just sitting here with 100 gems. There's not much else they can do about it. They're stuck at that. You've hit the hard cap, bud. And Nazebo just soaks. The Frogman continues soaking. Nice. It truly is art. Just the art of the PvE. Just going back and forth. Soaking your lane. Getting those stacks. Vile Infection's done, but that's okay. What level 4 did they go? They went full spider build. Oh, I should probably talk about level 20s. Wait, no, I did talk about level 20s from the, maybe not all of them, because I think I forgot to mention Rewind from New Bracket and Intensifying Toxin from the Lunara. But, hey. At least Naz is stacked. So this could be an interesting end to this. I nearly called it an ARAM. That's not how this game works. These teams have been not ARAMing by any means. Especially Ghost, Ghost and Sonya, who've been pretty diligent with their soaking. You can see Ghost is finally turning in. They didn't even get rid of half their gems. They got rid of 35 of their 100 gems, but hey, at least they can now be less of a pinata. But we can see Valkymet and Co. We can see the side of Counterpick Stupid is deciding to make a little bit of core push. Like becoming out PJ Reed doing a lot of damage. We do see Bottom of the Storm activated by Sylvanas, leaving Valkymet a little bit high and dry. You see Blinded by the Light use. They don't have Iron Skin anymore. They do get nice stun off. They do lose a lot of their health. Doesn't even use Blinded by the Light again, and that will be them going down. Meanwhile, the rest of the side of Counterpick Stupid were backing out. Wits End, however, getting attacked by the spiders, holding on for dear life. PJ Red Ghost hitting another one of those spider jars. Counterpick Stupid does find the kill on Tyrande. Oh, this is what I say. Level 20 turnarounds were going to be major for Cats on my keyboard, and this is suddenly looking a bit of a desperate situation for Counterpick Stupid, because this is a team that can just push. They have a Diva mech, they have Naz with his summons. It's like, Cats on my keyboard are going to need to can do a lot here with these few heroes. But Can't Counterpick Stupid does have a decent setup for defense. We can see that the side of Cats on My Keyboard were considering ending. They're not going to. They do just have another turn in, and that honestly is safer at this point in time. Sure, you had Joe down for another few seconds, and Tyrande is only just coming up now. But you may as well push Uvange while you can. Ghost turn in. You have it by yourself. PJ Reader's handing him their one, while Ghost hands in roughly the other 64 gems. Right. Blue Web Weaver's descending. Again, we're getting into this will be the last fight territory if 2 or more die in either of these. 2 or more from one team on either of these teams die in this last fight. It's going to be all over Red Rover, and that will be probably the team who wins the fight will win at least this map. But we can see very safe play coming out from the side of Can't Counterpick Stupid now. They made that aggressive core for core before, which didn't work out, so they're probably just hesitant on doing too much just because of how that went down. King Andrew trying to pump out the damage. Meanwhile, we can see the side of Cats on My Keyboard swarming the front gate here while the others push. Sonya has gotten rid of top Web Weaver. That is vital considering that was onto open core. You can see now that this bottom one is also pushing as well. Mid-Affy does need to back out. Does use Haunting Wave aggressively, but does not teleport in. Meanwhile, Velcomer goes on to Koala. Koala taking a decent amount of damage so far, but not quite anything overly concerning. Koala wanting to see what rest of it can do in the building does manage to back out. And in my head, I went, where's the mind control? Then I immediately went, it's not mind control, it's Wailing Arrow. So, you know, not quite what was going to bring them back to the fray. Right, and now we're going to get posturing around boss. Neither team has hand in. Both teams need 70 to hand in. So this is one of those longer... man, I forgot map name. Tomb of the Spider Queen game. Koala already taking a decent amount of damage. Velcomer, however, hit by the spiders, so will lose a lot of health as well. Velcomer does get cocooned. We see a Nubrak goes in, doesn't quite find Wit's End, just falls off a little bit short. Mid-Affy now also in danger. We can see that Wit's End takes a lot of damage, will be holding on for dear life. Doesn't quite survive. Zephy does give a leap onto Apple. Apple getting relatively low. We see Blinded by Light use as Zephy is getting a little bit too narrow. They'll be him down. However, that's both healers down each side. PJ Reed getting relatively low. King Andrew trying to back out while Koala's chasing there. But meanwhile, we do see the Lunara goes down top and that, well, PJ Reed is being chased down. We do see Naz hits the spiders. Mid-Affy manages to find the kill onto Nubrak. However, Velcomer relatively low will go down next. And we can see now that the move speed on Mid-Affy may keep him alive. No, that'll be them going down. However, I don't think either team can end. If any, maybe Cats on My Keyboard can because they have Nazebo summons. But will the side of Cats on My Keyboard want to commit to that? That's kind of my big question here. Oh, shoot, sorry. King Andrew is a little bit stuck between a rock and a hard place. Does get hit by a lot of toads at once. Does cleanse for poison, needs to run back to their core, but no, Big Shot finds it, and that will be the... As I say, that will be Chromie going down. However, respawns are starting to come up now from the side of Cats on My Keyboard. We see Wit's End is now up, and Ghost and Koala's between a rock and a hard place, actually. It's Wit's End, if you can stop Ghost from escaping. And Al finds the kill. That, what may have been an end for the side of Cats on My Keyboard, is now turning into more lost gems and a need to defend back. Oh, that was just a little bit too long at that core. Just unfortunate if you're the side of Cats on My Keyboard. But this game will continue to go on. We are at a 25-minute Tomb of the Spider Queen game. Whew. These two are probably one of the better two for taking this objective by themselves. Very scary. I think if they just committed instead of going for Chromie, it may have been an end, but hey, hindsight and all. So we do have now this side of Can't Counterpick Stupid taking the boss. Keep in mind, this will be a 26-minute boss by the time it's captured. This is going to march to core, and if the side of Can't Counterpick Stupid decides to march with it, it will get there. Light Bomb coming out, hits both Sonya and Madafi. Madafi now the only one having to step on the core. We see Valkymer steps on the core now. Chelsea actually relatively low. Madafi does manage to dodge the first thing, sorry. However, does Wailing Arrow back into the area at Crater, so we'll be taking a little bit too much damage. Do see Storm combat. We do see another 2, 3, 4 kills come out. The Zebra only just respawned. And that, however, likely will be game going on the side of Cats on my keyboard, unless Ghost pulls out the hold of their life, which don't know how feasible that is currently, which unfortunate for them, but we'll see. GG's call by PJ Red. Madafi getting relatively low, does manage to escape however. Naz puts War onto Wit's End, does need to use Ice Block. We see the Blinded by the Light used by Valkymer, and meanwhile, boss is ending, but Ghost is being chased down by Wit's End, does manage to dodge the stun, but that will be that. Wit's End gives up on the Naz, goes to core, and there'll be 5, 4, done. We're done. And that is the first map of the series, going over to Counterpick stupid GG's called by both sides. Well played. Well played. Right, let's have a view at the game summary screen. Right. Stats-wise, Nazebo absolutely pumping out the numbers at the end. Soak, amazing. Actually hit a Diva in the end, CJ hit a Diva in the end, hero damage top in the game, but it was a level 20, and by that point the damage had already been done. Counterpick Stupid already had the core at 50-something% health, and just the general team fight of them was a bit more cohesive. Because a lot of the damage from Cats My Keyboard were poison at the end of the day. While there isn't always amazing ways to get rid of poison, can at least the kill can last a little bit too long, and it means that the person poisoned from Counterpick Stupid usually was able to pick up a kill or survive long enough for even an even trade at worst to be picked up. So, all in all, I liked both of the cons, but Counterpick Stupid was just that little bit better despite me being such a fan of Nazebo. Right, let's have a quick look at talents. Anything that stands out? No? Renew at level 7 from Anduin. That's maybe the major one that stands out. Full W build from Anubrak. You don't see that too often, but I do like it. So yeah, nothing major standing out. I do like our build, so yeah. Right. Let me jump it on over to my map view screen, as I'm going to figure out what our next map was. It's going to be Infernal Shrines, I know it. And I'm going to like cry a little bit on the inside. I'm going to be like, of course it's Infernal Shrines, why would it not be Infernal Shrines? If I found out CC has picked this map, I'm not casting them again. Valkymer, if your team picked this map, I'm not casting you again. No, I'm joking. I will cast Div C more, just because I enjoy casting Div C. But right, we can see that Counterpick Stupid did win Tomb Spider Queen, and we're now at Infernal Shrine, so let's swap on over to the game. And we'll start with Counterpick Stupid this time, because we have Valkymer once again on Joe. King Andrew is on Tychus. Madafi is on Lunara this time. Zephy once again on Sonya, and Wit's End on Stukov. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, we have Koala and Dahaka. Chelsea on the Valstad. Ooh, I like the double global comp. PJ Red on Anubrak. Apple is on Anduin. And Ghost is on Li Ming. Not the best Li Ming map, especially once you get around objectives, just because of all the creep can definitely make it much harder to hit anyone. But it can still work out if you manage to get those fringe fights well enough. Meanwhile, I like the double global from Cats on my keyboard. It's something that we've seen quite a few teams used, and it's pretty nice. Anyway, Valkymer steps up. We can see the wave clear coming out. Actually, a bit better wave clear by the side of Cats on my keyboard so far, and they're actually probably going to keep that up as well. Because I believe, let's have a look. Yep, Tychus went grenade build, which means he'll be doing a lot of wave clear late game. And as well as Madafi probably is going to go the Nature's Cure, I imagine, at level 4 as well. But looking at stacking quests real quick, we actually have Tissue Regeneration from Dahaka. Not one you typically see. You typically see Enhanced Agility, just because it helps with those rotate speeds so much if you do intend on double soaking. as well as Gathering Storm. Yep, Gathering Storm by Felstar. So two pretty standard, a pretty standard Q quest as well as a less standard tissue regeneration, but it still is picked a little bit more than VR. Spell Armor Talent on Swarm at 1. Whatever that's called, I don't know what that's called, I haven't read it before. I'm pretty bad with like remembering all the talent names just because there are so many, and especially the less used ones, I don't know, especially Tank as well. Tank is like a horror one, like, I don't know what this is called. Nerubian Armor, sure, I was about to call it like Hardened Chitus or something. And the side of Can't Kind of Stupid is considering invading. However, Joe was a little bit too far away, and oh my god, Manafi took a little bit too much of it health there and damage, I imagine. Be like, let's not do that again, I don't want to die, just like that. But we can see Sonya's double soaking, Tahaka's double soaking as well. Well, at least doing their damnedest to double soak. They're not the best double soaker early on. Level 4 and level 13 is where it starts to pick up incredibly well. Especially if they go the level 4 talent that lets them do it, but no, they went actually the Burrow pop-up talent. But on the other side, we do see more stacking talents. We see Subdue from Joanna and Master Assassin from Tychus. So, if I was to guess what heroic we're going, I think we're going to see Commandeer Odin. Just because that's usually picked up with the... If Master Assassin's picked up, you typically see Commandeer Odin is soon to follow. Meanwhile, we have one good spread, or our good spread, or whatever it's called, from the Stukov. So, pretty even talent so far from both teams. I'm surprised Chelsea didn't go for percent damage at the auto attack quest at 1, because I think the percent damage would have been quite good into Joe and Sonya, but I guess that hammering is their main wave clear, so they really need to get stacked. They need to be at this objective because it's also their main objective clear, but they do at least have fly up to come, well, flight to come up late. But right, both Shaman camps taken. We do see there's a bit of a push with the cats on my keyboards. Oh man, I fear the day that I do Counterpick Stupid versus collecting countless stars, because that's just two CCS teams and we're like, oh, my brain's broken, I'm done. My brain breaks easily these days, however, so it's a bit hard to say when and where it will break. It's nearly broken this match. I've honestly looked at the game and gone, yes, Unga Bunga, run down. Run down lane, me too good. Anyway, we can see there is now a clear advantage by the side of Can't Kind of Stupid. They're already at 24 out of a required 40. Level 7 advantage, sure, was there for a little bit on cats on my keyboard. But it's already back for Can't Kind of Stupid. It's already even now by Can't Kind of Stupid. And interesting, we see Relentless Soldier taken. I guess they have a Nubarak stuns. So yeah, Nubarak stuns, the Haka stun, giving it 30 armor makes sense. But without that W upgrade, I guess it's mainly minion soak, isn't it? Either way, the W talent is usually picked up with grenade, but we'll see how this goes. Relentless Soldier. I'm talking absolute smack on Relentless Soldier now, but there's got to be a moment where like King Andrew is about to get full comboed and the 30 armor saves him. We'll have to find out and see how that goes. But right, let's see what's coming up. Punisher was slain. Excellent. Time to do some of that good old macro stuff. Meanwhile, we do have a little bit of fight between Chelsea and ZFE top. It looked like Cats on my keyboard was considering doing bottom camp, but maybe we're just scouting it. Meanwhile, Can't Kind of Stupid did take their camp and will just chip the building down. Or they just do a little bit of chip damage and decide to leave it still up. One of the two, either work. But it looks like they're going to be doing that bottom camp. Yes, indeed they are. PJ Red, it's like least scouting the camp. However, they don't have a team to support them, so they're not going to go in. And no, you can see they decide not to commit to that. Which, in all honesty, smart. But, as I say, is Counterpick Stupid, can't Counterpick Stupid going to go in there? They would have lived up to their namesake if they charged head first into there and went, right, how are they going to do this? As they just charge in head first directly into the camp of the enemy team. But nope, we're not going to see that, which, unfortunate, but I would have liked it. Anyway, we can see the heroic talents have moved through for both teams now. Once again, we see Leap Sonya, Leap... Leap Lunara, Leap Joanna, Commandeer Odin from Tychus, and Flailing Swipes and Stukov. On the other hand side, we have Isolation, Dahaka, Light Bomb Anduin, Li Ming's making up in mind, Hakuna Nubrak, and Gust from the Falstad. So once again, we have a character that inherently wants to go a bit more late game. Because if you get level 20 and get... Oh, there we go, Disintegrate from Li Ming. But yes, like once you get Wind Tunnel at level 20, it's always going to do a lot. But yep, we see the side of Counterpick Stupid finally has taken down that mid fort. Also, welcome back, Valk. Hope you're doing well. PJ Reed is going to get ran onto by the team. However, there is no Blessed Shield, so it's going to be a little bit hard to lock down anything such as a Nubrak for long enough for King Andrew to get that kill pressure. So I'm wondering whether Blessed Shield would have been better, but it's a bit hard to tell. Again, if this game goes late, Blessed Shield is going to do a lot for the side of... Well, actually, we'll come back to that as we see Madafi is getting relatively low. We see Cocoon comes out. A little bit of anti-synergy there by PJ Red. And Anduin, as King Andrew would have definitely taken a decent stun from Light Bomb there. But no, they get a hold on the life now. We can see now that they're taking a lot of damage. Okay, there we go. I've eaten my words. That 30 armor probably has definitely saved King Andrew at this point. Actually, maybe not save, but keep him alive long enough to do a decent amount of damage. And I have eaten my words. Relentless Soldier was a good pickup by Tychus, which is really all you can ask for. You go, yes, I want the good one. And it worked out. So we can actually see that Cat to my keyboard wants to start the objective this time. And we'll see how that goes. As we're already about halfway through. Valk is now stepping in. Madafi and Wits End also probably getting a little bit emboldened by their tank arriving. As they're now getting a little bit on the board. But it will be a bit hard for them to come back in already. But Zephy is going to just walk straight on into it. And actually bottom 4 went down during that. Zephy is actually low, went down to 40, was able to survive. And when Apple getting relatively low, we see the stun going out onto Tychus. Tychus doing the best. Valkyrie uses that falling sword to keep the Tychus cleansed the whole time, keep them unstoppable. But it looks like that will be objective going over the side of Cats on my keyboard unless anything absolutely... Oh, there it is. And that's a dead Tychus. Meanwhile, this fort actually fell during the fight. So that means now that the Punisher just gets to walk straight up to this gate, the keep gate. So assuming Valkyrie has Iron Skin up. I assume they have Iron Skin up. There it is. Punisher taking a lot of damage already. Quest complete by Dahaka, that's good timing. That is something that is usually needed. Especially because it gives Dahaka so much survivability. However, they got a decent amount of front gates. They did get one tower, they got half of another. But that was a frozen Punisher. Really could have done a little bit more, but if you're the side of Counterpick Stupid, you're happy I only did that much. And if you're the side of Cats on my keyboard, you're just happy you got it. But right, level 13's for both sides, so let's have another look. I'm seeing this build more and more, so imagine we're going to get all overkill talents up until 20 from Tychus. Which is interesting, because you usually see either spell armor taken, which doesn't quite make sense if you're already... Oh, I'm distracted because I'm yawning too much. Oh man, I thought I got a good sleep last night. Apparently I did not, and I'm just tired. We see Dahaka went down as they got ganked by the 4-man of Counterpick Stupid. And they'll now be pushing on to the fort. We can see Vision has gone down, has scouted the side of Cats on my keyboard. We see one leap used by Madafi. They still have their second leaping strike up. Valkyrie does also have their, quote, leap, end quote, still up as Falling Sword is active. However, this is now a 4v4. The 5th person, Dahaka, is able just to burrow in. We do see Falling Sword used. We do see Koala is now with the rest of the Cats on my keyboard side. And, well, that's a disengage by Counterpick Stupid, which, fair. Screw that, that's a 5v4 all of a sudden. That's not where you want to be, or 4v5 from their perspective, but you absolutely want to play safe, especially now that Sonya has worked so hard to get you guys ahead on Soak. And you can see now, yeah, that is reflected by the experience bars at the bottom. So also if I push this, yeah, there you go. It's a little bit of a favor for cats on my keyboard, but not by a significant amount. It's literally 200 apart, 400 apart. PJ Red does get Light Bomb used on them, however, nobody to find. Unfortunate if you're the Anduin, especially because I feel like objectives going to be called like the next 10-15 seconds or so. But we can see Zephy spears in. Finds PJ Red, maybe not who they're looking for, but they're definitely who they found. We see Burrow coming out onto Madafi, Madafi taking a lot of damage. Pull coming out by Anduin onto PJ Red. PJ Red getting hold on a little bit longer, and that is, yep, there we go. The next shrine is called, and it's probably Arcane. Wow, look at that Arcane, oh. So hard to get. It's not like the last two were Mortar and then Frozen. We see Chelsea is getting chased. Oh. So Chelsea got chased out. 1 fort, 1 fort. It's all actually relatively even so far. But think about the global heroes are. They don't have to be at the objective immediately. They can just fly up, burrow up as needed. Sure, there's a little bit more limited range by the Falstad than the Haka, but we do see Falstad is just walking on up. Let me just close this. Oh, Vera's subdue completed actually. Nicely done by Velcomer. Leaping strike used on a minion just to reposition Madafi to somewhere a bit more safe. And now we can see the side of Cats on my keyboard are about to push in. Oh. We can see Cocoon went out and actually cancelled the flailing swipes. Nice silence directly under Falstad. Falstad will be dead. Just got hit by a bit, one too many leaps, as both leap and falling sword hit them directly on the head, followed up by that Stroke of Silence, meaning that was basically a death sentence for Falstad, because Falstad kind of needs their barrel roll to survive, and if you can't barrel roll well, you're losing out on your shield, and you are losing out on your... Ow, my shoulder! Escape. Oh, my shoulder hurts. Jeez, that was seeing stars right there. Oh, sorry. Oh, my shoulder hurts. Like, don't dislocate your shoulder, kids. It doesn't hurt. Oh, it does hurt, and it causes some longer-term issues, which I'm just sitting here like, yeah, it does. So I may need to take a little break after this while I take some painkillers and get some water, but I will at least finish up the series first. Oh god, if there's a map free, I may take a break between the two. That's time. We see Jump comes out, Ghost gets a Arcane Punisher directly on top of their head. You can see that the side of Cats on my keyboard are actually not wanting to. Not Cats on my keyboard, the side of Counterpick Stupid was not wanting to really follow in there too much. Meanwhile, I think they should start looking at balancing out bottom, because once these lanes are even, that means the cannon pressure would be split, which is a little bit less, which is also one less concern you're going to have on a day-to-day. Gust coming out, stopping that push in its tracks. And we can see Velk is now here. The side of Counterpick Stupid is trying to still get poked onto that building. I thought I heard forward Divines for a brief moment. I'm like, that can't be right. My eyes were closed for like 2 seconds. I'm like, huh. Meanwhile, Lemming's dead. Yeah, Pego is ahead. Right. You see damage is coming out both sides. Valk is actually going to be taking these amount of shots. However, it is Madafi that is going to be one taking the shots. Where's the leaping strike over the building, coward? No, it's alright. You have 2 charges, actually. No, it's not! As we do have, once again, objectives should be called relatively soon again. The side of can't Counterpick Stupid is maybe looking to steal a camp. Yep, Valk has already stepped on it. Li Ming's off for a little bit longer, so won't necessarily be able to contest, which not ideal if you're the side of Cats on my keyboard. It's both teams have the CA sounds, which I think is annoying me at the beginning of the sentence. Oh. We see meanwhile that is a whole front gate down. Tychus staying a little bit too long. Fortunately, PJ Red wasn't quite in the position to fully punish. It's about being punished. Ghost is actually going to head down. Oh, Ghost is thinking about it. We hear arcane missiles go off. We can see Stukov is being chased out, and we have rock talents, storm talents for the level for the side of Cats on my keyboard. We see Ariat. We saw Ariat Crater once again, as well as we saw the Falling Sword upgrade, Heaven's Fury. But we also have Intensifying Toxin, Odin upgrade. We see a very dead Sonya, and we do see a Control Chaos from the Stukov. We heard that as Lunara leaped over her enemies. Man, I am tired today, eh? It is 10 AM and I'm like, I'm ready for a nap. Which, it happens. Sometimes you just need a nap. It's one of those days, but it feels like one of those days, so I'm not going to have a nap. I refuse, I am going to stay awake, I'm going to stay alert, and we're already at level 20s for both sides. The other side of Cats on my keyboard did pick up Contagion, which I thought we were going to see used there. In a fire, Tel Rush's elements, Veer's Wind Tunnel, and Rewind. It was picked up by the Anubarak. Speaking of which, Anubarak has just gotten back now. Wave is cleared, but oh, Stukov went for silence, however now they're stuck in a cocoon. We see isolation coming out onto Valkymer, and actually that is a very dead Stukov going down quite early. Valkymer is trying their best to hold on, does use a shield glare to heal themselves up a little bit. But keep in mind, the healer of Counterpick Stupid is down now, so not ideal if you are them, but it isn't quite the end of a world. It may be. No, there's still a fort and a keep him away. Counterpick Stupid definitely has some time before this objective can end. But right, yep, there it is. It goes over to the side of Cats on my keyboard. And we can see that top keep went down to the wave pressure, which ideal if you're the side of Counterpick Stupid, but not amazing if you're the side of Cats on my keyboard. So this may come down to, with one good wipe, we may get an end call from Counterpick Stupid, despite, as long as it doesn't go much like the last one did. But waves being cleared. You see Commandeer Odin being used. That is one going down. Oh. A lot of damage coming out, and that is the Punisher going down. So fought for keep that phase, not the end of the world. Oh, Joanna's falling short each time. She's not quite there, unfortunately for her. See, that is big red button being used. PJ Red is going to have Light Bomb pushed on him, and it's just used immediately. Tychus is getting stunned out of it. We do see a nice area crater coming up. PJ Red actually putting himself in it. However, there'll be Apple dead first, and we see the silence coming out under Vez. 2 kills. Ghost over gets Stukov on the way out, but however will die in turn. Koala uses that knockback on Madafi to keep them at bay. But will we get an end call here from the side of Counterpick Stupid as they do get on top of Chelsea? Chelsea is forced to use barrel roll, meaning they're not quite able to go out. Koala taking a decent amount of damage, but thanks to that self-healing, they're not quite in danger. Right, this is that mid-building going down. Oh, Joanna's healing, good. Someone's at least healing while the healer's out. We now see that this objective is, this core is starting to drop down now. A lot of members on the side of CC is frozen, and Velkomer backs out. Oh, we're getting another half push again. Oh, Joe can nearly heal up the team. No, they're just going for the siege, the bruiser camp. I guess the side of... Yeah, as I say, I guess the side of, what's their names are just about back up. Cats on my keyboard, there we go. Man, I'm bad with names today. So yeah, they will be able to stop any major push from happening, which ideal if you're them, because you don't want to quite lose. You do want to win, funnily enough. That's how this game works. Right, and we do see camps being called by the teams. We went, oh, actually, bottom camp isn't quite up yet. Let's just be a little bit patient. And I think I know what we'll do after this now. Starting the camp. Yep, here we go. And that will be siege camp going over to the side of Counterpick Stupid. Bottom one will be up in a few moments. We can see actually Cats on my keyboard is sitting around their top bruiser camp. The top bruiser camp of Counterpick Stupid, but meanwhile CCS is just taking all the bottom camps, and I think Cats on my keyboards realize that, and actually the eye scouts them. So that gank plan is now done and over. They do need to clear these Impalers. Impalers can do a lot of damage quite quickly. As you can already see, Ghost has lost a bit of their health. They weren't even focusing on them that hard. Just a few, maybe one volley from all of them, but it's still enough to be of concern. Meanwhile, we can see the side of Counterpick Stupid is just kind of meandering on up. They need to get camp away, but meanwhile, Cats on my keyboard are going to need to get there as well. There is going to be a fight going down here either way, and if Counterpick Stupid wins it, it's probably Counterpick Stupid who will take this game. We hear the slams coming out. Nice stuff. There's Cats on my keyboard now. Counterpick Stupid is going to get a little bit of pressure here, but they're already over halfway through. PJ Red cocoons the Tigers first off. That's probably the best. But however, Wits End is down. However, there's a nice double stomp by... Ooh. That is an excellent wind tunnel. Zephy holding on for dear life. Velkomer actually also getting low. So that's already 2 kills from the side of Cats on my keyboard. Koala doesn't quite find the isolation. It does miss. Velkomer now stuck between a rock and a hard place. Is trying their best to clear out the skeletons, but not quite doing it. And we can see that there will be Joanna being taken out. Right. That is... What are you doing? Are you just about to put on macro pressure, Madafi? Yep. They've given up on objective. Objective is very much over to the side of Counterpick Stupid now. Over to the side of Cats on my keyboard now. Very well played from them so far, so we'll have to see where this next one goes. Oh, Dahaka has decided to defend. Koala getting poked at by Madafi a little bit, losing a decent chunk of her health. This is the weirdest end call I've ever seen from a player. They are going to have to leave now, as Chelsea is going to fly over them. Excellent leaping strike from Madafi, meaning they're able to get out. Does dodge the hammer, but meanwhile they're about to be between a rock and a hard place as they're getting full comboed. That's a way to just end it here, huh? And we do now have this objective is going to be pushing into the keep. Joe does get a jump over the fort, but at least have Iron Skin for that still. As we do see an all-out fight breaking out, we do see that Commandeer Odin is being dropped. Is going to get a little bit of shots out. Big Red Thunder being dropped directly on top of the Punisher. Punisher hitting Velk in the process. You can see it's chasing down Velkomer. Velkomer will have to walk out. Punisher is down. We can see now that PJ Red Chelsea is a little bit overstaying, but do have the ability to get out. King Andrew takes a decent amount of damage. However, they do have that 25 armor, which will help them a lot. And they actually managed to dodge with a blind orb. Well done. Right, Hammerang goes out, doesn't quite find Velkomer. Velkomer to good dodge, does get a nice stun to Koala and PJ Red. Zephy actually uses Leap, but isn't able to find it, and that's what I mean about Ariat Crater. If you Ariat Crater and miss, you are stuck in an awkward spot. And fortunately for them, no one was able to press onto them too much, so we were able to back out, but they are at least alive. Let me just get rid of that. Right. Witsin's going up, getting a nice silence onto both Koala and PJ Red, getting a reset on it. That is now PJ Red in an awkward situation. Witsin just keeps dropping that silence. Meanwhile, Gust, that wind tunnel does keep the side of Counterpick Stupid out. So the camp is taken by Cats on my keyboard, but Chelsea is overextended. The flying swipe maybe not the best choice there, but it does at least keep the team alive. And now we're going to get a push by Cats on my keyboard onto Keep. And we're just going to be able to poke it down once again. Nice double stun by Valkyba. That's PJ Red being very slow. Koala having to back. They weren't able to interrupt it, which unfortunate because now Koala will be able to clean up those those catapults, all while the brawl is continuing to happen over here. Right. Valkyba is acting as that ward. You see PJ Red has walked up to this top camp. Okay, yep, we're getting maybe a fight coming out. As we're just getting a lot of safe play. Silence coming, Circle coming out underneath, and there'll be a reset on Witsend. Zephy and Valkyba ready to go in. Yep, there's Leap. That is Wind Tunnel coming out soon after. There has been Sonya stuck in the middle of a rock and a hard place. Thank you to the area creator, as well as the side of Counterpick Stupid is actually able to get onto objective, and that will be the Harker down. Next objective is called. These are both in like half an hour maps. If this is a free map series, this is going to be like a 2-hour series at the end. Which, I do like a good long series, but maybe not. But it looks like we're actually getting an end call from the side of Counterpick Stupid. We do see that Apple is taking decent amount of damage. However, PJ Red is going to be the one in danger after all this. Pull used by Apple onto them, so that'll be them out. And yeah, Shrine is active. We do have a Mortar Shrine, which can do a lot of damage if a Slate came in. And of course, it's for one lane that Cats on my keyboard and both Counterpick Stupid do have structures up. But there is a lot of macro pressure coming out now from Counterpick Stupid. Right. That is a quick pickup of that mid camp. Valkyba is holding quite high, wanting to make sure that the side of Cats on my keyboard can't step in as easy. But meanwhile, we do see both Falstad and Ahaka is on cleanup duty currently. And this will be maybe the final Punisher of the game, going over to the side of Counterpick Stupid, because if there is a good leap by either Punisher or Sonya, and the other follows up on it, well, that could be a very dead anyone. Right, let's see where we're going. To core, that's where we're going actually, to keep I should say first. Right. Nice double stun by the Punisher, going straight on a PJ Red. There's no leap to follow up like I imagined there would be, but however, that is already the keep down, and Immortal is just going to start hitting that core. So it looks like we are going to get an end call here by the side of CCS, but that looks like it will definitely work out as that core just drops so quickly, and that will be the game and the series going over to the side of Counterpick Stupid. GG to both sides. Right, let me swap it over to our game summary screen. Even kills. First thing to note is even kills. That's pretty impressive. Pretty even on damage as well. Li Ming did have the advantage in the end, but much like last game where Ghost had most damage, didn't quite work out in their favor. But that's because there was that little bit more macro pressure from the side of Counterpick Stupid this time, and they did win out a few of those later game team fights. Healing, relatively even. Apple had more healing done, even though Stukov is pretty close, but that Stukov silence build does do a lot in other areas outside of just healing. Thank you to the silence. Soak, Sonya, Dahaka relatively close. Talent, is there anything that stands out? Not really. at least not a really little soldier I talked about earlier on, but it paid dividends. Cats picked both maps. Okay, cool. Good to know. Thank you. So yeah, that was a fun series. And let me just swap it on over to the map view screen. As we can see that while Cats picked both maps, Can't Counterpick Stupid actually won both the maps. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to cast another Division C game, but I'm going to grab a quick drink and take some painkillers first for my shoulder, but I'll be back as soon as I can, and it looks like we are going to be going to not another Division C West game, but we will have a Division C East game of, well, I guess we'll find out soon enough, won't we? So I'll catch you all in a few moments. Bye for now, I suppose.